Asylum seekers at the Bell. Never in its history has the town of Epping been so famous. It is just up the road from me. I stood for the constituency in the general election, and it's been bizarre to see pictures of it beamed around the world for the last month. Other than the various incidents in the July riots last year, the Epping demonstrations were the first time an asylum hotel was protested in large numbers. The Ballymena protests predated Epping, but were about asylum seeker houses. And it wasn't for one night only. There have been about 10 protests in Epping so far, every Thursday and Sunday and one Friday since July the 13th. The events in the usually quiet community have had a ripple effect, and now numerous other places in the same boat, so to speak, have followed suit. There have been too many to count, with one day seeing 50 around the country. The Epping unrest, angry but legal protest mixed with some unacceptable violence, escalated quickly. The Bell Hotel, on the western end of the high road, is a historic local site. An inn has existed there since the 16th century, but the main building dates back to 1900. Modern, rather ugly accommodation blocks were constructed later in the 1960s and 80s. It has 80 rooms. Currently owned by Samani Hotels, it has been used by the Home Office as an asylum hotel since May 2020. It was closed for that purpose in January 2024. The Labour government, however, having promised during the election to close migrant hotels, reopened it in April this year. Epping Forest District Council, EFDC, is Conservative run. The Tory councillors claim they have always and consistently opposed the Bell housing asylum seekers. Council officers had opposed it on planning grounds, as the judgment in EFDC's legal action against Samani Hotels records. Anecdotally, I have heard some Tory councillors were of the same mind as the council officers, and this helped lead to the closure in 2024. However, I can find no public record of Tory objections until 2025. Indeed, a myth-busting fact sheet released by the council in August 2020 doesn't mention the council or the Tory group's opposition. It gives the usual platitudes about our legal obligations to asylum seekers in need. It distances the council from the decision, rightly saying it is a Home Office responsibility, but it doesn't state actual opposition. Could it be they were towing the line because the government of the time was Tory? It could certainly be the case that the politics then were different, and now it has become expedient to explicitly oppose the Bell. Someone making damn sure she does this is the serving Tory councillor Holly Whitbread. She seconded the July 24th motion to call for its closure and holds to the consistently opposed line. She cites a reason for increased opposition being the fact exclusively single men have been placed there rather than the families previously included. The 2020 Mythbuster sheet, however, features a less than oppositional quote from her. This was repeated in the press. Home Office use of the Bell has no negative impact on local residents. Many are likely to have come from war-torn or famine-ravaged parts of the world. I am sure the vast majority are looking for safe haven to restart their lives. They are not a threat to local people. 5 years later, this has aged like milk. An Ethiopian migrant living in the Bell, Hadush Kabatu, was accused of sexual assaults and propositioning two 14-year-old girls. On July the 8th, he allegedly tried to kiss an adult woman and touched her leg while having a visible erection. He then allegedly made sexual remarks to two 14-year-olds, trying to kiss one of them and inviting them back to the hotel. Kabatu was then charged with 3 counts of sexual assault, one of non-violent harassment, and one of inciting sexual activity in a child. He had come on a boat across the channel and had only been in the country for 8 days before allegedly committing the crimes. He pled not guilty and has been remanded in custody before his trial starts on August the 26th. This is obviously not the first time an asylum seeker has been accused of sexual offences or other crimes. Many have been convicted around the country, and it seems one is charged every few days. It is inevitable if you take undocumented men, often from misogynistic cultures with different ideas about sexual consent, and keep them in a populated area, free to roam and with nothing to do. It is tempting fate even more to situate their accommodation next to schools, universities, playgrounds and other sites. In Epping, that is exactly what the authorities have done, with 5 schools within walking distance. To channel Paul Joseph Watson, imagine my shock when a migrant was accused of a sexual crime against an Epping teenager. There have been various rumours about the Bell over the years, and locals have claimed the migrants hang around leering at women and schoolgirls. Others say they steal from the local shops and have even flashed females on the nearby common. This is all anecdotal, and I've seen no proof of this, but it is hardly implausible. A much more serious incident happened on April the 5th, not long after migrants had been moved to the Bell. A resident allegedly started a fire in their room, causing significant damage. Why were the asylum seekers moved? Because on March 28th, another migrant hotel in the area, the ironically named Phoenix Epping, was partially burned down. You won't be surprised to learn the same man was later charged with setting both fires. Rawand Abdulri, possibly Kurdish, was charged with 2 counts of arson with intent to endanger life. An alleged paedophilic sex pest and an alleged arsonist in the same establishment. It doesn't look good, does it? I add an update here to say yet another inhabitant has been charged with numerous crimes, this time against someone inside the hotel. On August the 13th, Mohammed Sharwak, Syrian, was charged with assault, having allegedly attacked the same man 6 times, once sexually by kissing his neck. It just gets worse and worse.